Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ryan from Sports Card Radio. Hope you guys staying cool this summer. It's been up to 110 degrees out where I live, so I haven't melted yet. Although I'm trying to lose some weight. The NFL football season is coming up. That's my big working time of the year. Time I got to get out and get to that grind and stuff. And so last year I was able to lose 25 pounds in about 2 months before the season started. And I think it really helped me with my work and stuff and just having stamina and being a little thinner and trimmer. Well, needless to say, all that weight came back, and I am trying to, in the process of getting it off. And yesterday it was like high 80s, low 90s. And I think running in the gym is much different than running outside. I'll just say that. Most people probably already knew that. I already knew that. Unfortunately, I tried to push myself a little too much yesterday, and things didn't go well later in the day. But today, bounce back, feel good. Maybe the voice is a little scratchy from getting a little queasy last night from the sunburn and the 5-mile run in the 90-degree heat. But maybe I'll be tanned up for Vegas that's coming up, tanned up for the National that's coming up, and maybe I'll lose a couple pounds for the football season when I really got to get to work. This might be the only show until the National for many different reasons. We got a Vegas trip. We got to take care of my parents' dog for a couple days. I think they're going out of town somewhere. I've got to go to Chicago for a week. And I got all this other stuff going on. So we're going to get this in. And got several topics to talk about around the sports card world today. First, check out my cards. Fee increase. We'll talk briefly about the fees. I couldn't think of anything that would probably hit the pause or off button quick enough than to go in a 20-minute discussion about the check out my cards fee increase. I'll briefly talk about that, let you check that out also for yourself. And we'll read, actually, the best part is reading some of the Facebook comments after they announce the fees. You can probably predict how those went. Next, we'll talk about the National. If we're not going to be back probably before then we'll talk about the National. What will I be doing at the National? I'll definitely be doing some shows at the National. Probably try to connect with my brother who hosts the Sports Card Show podcast. And every year, I think for the last few years, we've been doing a national show that usually goes off the rails one way or the other. And so I'll probably try to connect with him and do that. That way we both have a podcast. He can put it on his feed and I can put it on my feed. And that's why it's like a 2-for-1 special. So I think he'll like that. And we usually have a fun time talking about what's going on at the National. Definitely be doing that, doing some videos. Usually I have a lot of ambition when I go there, and then my ambition goes down like a roller coaster really quick. And but I'll talk about what my plans are, who I'll talk to, and really the shows that I do with my brother or any show that I do myself will be really important, because that's where I'll kind of get everything off my chest and who I talk to and what I find out. So be sure to tune into that stuff. Thirdly, we had a group breaker had a huge case, a museum collection baseball. And we'll talk about that and the reaction there. Fourth, quick update on blowout cards and the hacking and some changes they made, which kind of made it obvious how they got hacked. Fifth, we'll talk about Facebook groups. I mean, this is just unbelievable. I've seen them in the sports card world, but I've actually set up one myself that explodes pretty quickly on there on Facebook. If you have a way to kind of drive traffic to that group or add members to that group easily, wow. You should definitely be using that. Sixth, if I don't get a chance to plug it, I want to make sure to mention that mojobreak.com, a group breaker. It's been on my brother's show probably once or twice, and actually I did a live show with Dan and Doug for maybe like a year or so, or 8 months, a couple years ago. You probably can find those somewhere out there on the internet. Mojo Break, they're doing kind of a live show on YouTube, and it's really cool. They have a guy there kind of in the background doing stuff, so It was really good. They have an episode. You can go to their YouTube page and probably find it. And good stuff there. So just wanted to make sure I got that in. And lastly, if we have time for this, breaking news, everybody. I'm going to start an authentic. Let's see if we can get this out. Breaking news. I'm going to start an authentication company. Breaking freaking news. But before you get too excited or you wet your pants too much, it's not going to be sports cards. And it's going to be what else, but most likely Beanie Babies. So if we have some time at the end, I'll talk about my unique business ideas that I'm going to be kicking off probably definitely after football season. But it could be very lucrative, as I've seen other people who have graded stuff and authenticated stuff over the years become fairly wealthy. I think I can throw my hat in the ring, and part of that has to do with Facebook groups, so it ties in with that as well. If you want to get a hold of me or my brother hosts the Sports Card Show podcast. We are two different people. We are twin brothers. We used to look a lot alike. As we've grown older and I've grown fatter, we don't look as much alike as we did 30 years ago. But we're two different people. He hosts the Sports Card Show podcast. I host this show. You can reach him on Twitter at Sports Card Radio. You can reach me on Twitter at Sports Card News. You can reach more him by email, sportscardshow@gmail.com, although you can also reach me through there. Facebook, Sports Card Radio. Through the mail, 4545 Georgetown Place, Suite C34, Stockton, California, 95207. So there are the ways to get a hold of us if need be. Okay, fees at Checkout My Cards. They're going up in some places and actually going down in some places depending on the type of cards that you're selling. Premium service. If you want to send your cards, and when Checkout My Cards receives them, they're uploaded on the site in 3 business days. That goes from $1 to $1.20. Okay, a 20-cent increase there. Select service. So you send it to them and they get uploaded on the site in 2 weeks. It was 50 cents. But if you price the card above $50, it was an additional 50 cents. So if you sent a $100 card in previously at the select service, it would have cost you $1. The new service fees is 60 cents, but you get a $200 maximum list. So if you sent that same $100 card in, it previously would have cost you $1. Now it's going to cost you 60 cents. If you send things at the basic level, which how most people do it, and how I can't remember the last time I ever sent cards in, but that's probably how I did it. It went from 25 cents to 30 cents. People who send in graded cards, it'll actually be cheaper to send in if you send at the select or basic level, because it is just an additional 30 cents add-on, whereas in the past it was $1 to a minimum $1 to send in a graded card. Now it will be either 90 cents, it looks like, at the select 2 weeks, or it will be 60 cents at the basic level. Checkout My Cards has also added 2 new layers of service. If you want to do current year cards, you can do it at the select service in 1 week for 60 cents, and it cuts your processing time down by a week, and it's the same price if it's current year sports cards. You could also send those at the basic level, and instead of 2 months that you normally would, you would get them in a month. So clearly that's an aim for Check Out My Cards, to get people to submit them cards that are current year, that are fresh, that are Aaron Judge, that are Cody Bellinger, that are whoever the flavor of the month is at the particular time and particular sport. So as I kind of overlook this, bottom line here, if you're sending in the 3 business days, quick turnaround, boom, 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 you obviously got hit here with a 20-cent increase. If you're listing cards for over $50, then this could really help you, because you could potentially be saving money. You could be saving actually upwards, it looks like 40% on your submissions if every card you sent in you were planning to list for above $50. So again, an effort for Check Out My Cards to get higher valued cards on the site and get those submitted instead of the 1987 Donruss Baseball factory set coming in. Also good for in-season sellers because it gives you the option to get stuff on there a little quicker. You have the select service, which is only 1 week. That's quick. That's as quick as I'm sending stuff to Amazon that it's kind of getting on there and all kind of becoming live. And you can do that current year, 1 week, looks like for 60 cents there. Or you could do the basic service. Instead of 2 months, you get 1 month there. So good for in-season sellers, people who maybe not selling all their stuff on eBay, or maybe they're not a big eBay seller, but they're opening stuff in the current year, they can send it in. So good for people maybe who doing group breaks too and trying to get rid of their stuff, get stuff on there a little quicker. Good for Check Out My Cards, obviously, as well. Also, these fees are better for if you're sending in graded cards. Maybe you're buying graded cards. Looks like you're going from what was $1 to get your graded card on there. You're going from 60 to 80 cents if you use one of the lower services, the select or the basic. So really the only people getting hurt here are people who are, doing the basic service. You're getting a nickel more per card. Or if you're doing the select, you're getting hit for about 10 cents more per card. And obviously the premium is a 20-cent increase. Some of the reaction on the Check Out My Cards Facebook feed after they posted the fee increase, I guess in some areas. Let's take a look at some of the responses. Alex says fees, and more fees, but no discounts. Wonderful. Thanks, Check Out My Cards. Can I start charging you a flat fee for every card in my order you damage? Another one from Brad. Tim, this is getting out of hand. I may as well just throw large lots on eBay now and avoid the listing fee. Not to mention the 20% cash out on top of it. Not pleased at all. Likely going to be a large drop in submissions once this is instituted. It took 2 months for my cards to be listed at 25 cents. Now that extra nickel a card for the same processing time? No thanks. It was fun while it lasted. Andy says, going to have to start going to eBay, I guess. I don't make any money selling cards as it is, but now I'm taking an even larger loss on my hobby. Was just about to drop $1,200 and break some new boxes. But now I'm thinking otherwise. Kobe says, I would have waited until after the National to let this out. Tim should have a great week in Chicago. Well, it is deserved. Greed always gets ya. If you're sending cards in to Check Out My Cards and a nickel price difference is going to break you, is going to go get you to list 500 cards on eBay and pack and ship all those out if those ever sell, over a nickel? Guys, send in more expensive cards. You'll be getting a discount if you do that. Send in graded cards. You'll be getting a discount if you do that. If you like playing in the low-end game like I do, like that's pretty much what I exclusively do, don't send in cards. There are hundreds of sellers on there begging to give their crap away. There are people uploading hockey cards from Upper Deck ePack daily, taking pennies on the dollars for rare cards, young guns, anything. Stop sending cards in. I think my brother just did a podcast, and one of his main themes, and here comes some explicit language for you guys, stop touching the fucking cards. Stop touching the fucking cards. You guys who left messages on Facebook, it seems like this money meant something to you, or these cards meant a lot to you. If this shit means a lot to you, why aren't you doing it smarter? You should not be fucking sending in low-end cards when there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of them for sale. Either through the on sale, through a normal pickup, through a port sale, through making offers. Why are you ripping open boxes trying to find Aaron Judge cards when you could have bought them for 10 to 50 cents? for the last 4 years. You could buy any hockey card you want for about 3 cents on Check Out My Cards. Connor McDavid Young Guns went from $120 to $500. That's an example of a high-end card. Victor Arvidsson, whoever the hell he is, and whoever the hell he plays for, his Young Guns went from 15 cents to $3. I had 100 of those suckers. You guys are complaining about a fucking nickel? A fucking nickel? I'm going to go run to eBay. I'm going to go run the fucking sports slots. Oh gosh, the end of the world's coming. I got to pay a fucking nickel. You basically can load up a fucking box to Check Out My Cards and send it to them. Can you do that with Beckett Grading? No, they make you list out every fucking card. Can you do that with Amazon? No. I can't just put crap in a box and send it to them. That's actually probably the most difficult process, is getting your shit listed and staying listed for sale on Amazon. Everything else is a fucking breeze. Check Out My Card. You can just fucking tell them you're sending them 600 cards. Here they are. You guys are complaining about a fucking nickel and a fucking cash out fee when you don't do any fucking work but send them a fucking box and price it? Are you fucking serious? Go ahead and list for shit on eBay. I did that for about a month and a half, and I wanted to fucking jump off my balcony. What a fucking waste of time that is. What a fucking job that is. So if you want that to be your job, then just list fucking cards. Start your own website. What do you need him for? Send him just the shit that you don't want to list or you can't sell or that'll sell on there, that you know will sell on there. Because if you're a big card guy, you should know all these things. These are things you should know. How to sell on every platform. You're fucking complaining about a fucking nickel? Are you kidding? Unbelievable. I mean, I was reading the comments before I had gone over the fees. I'd gone over the fees, and unless somebody can correct me, some of these fees went down. If you're selling graded cards, it went down. If you use the select or the basic service, it went down quite a bit. Went down as much as 40% if you use the basic. And if you're listing cards above $50 with a $200 maximum list price, looks like you're saving money there too. And if you're selling current year stuff, you're getting some processing times cutting half for about the same price or lower if these cards are valuable. The fuck are you guys complaining about? Oh, I'm gonna fucking pay 5 cents more. Holy shit, you guys are fucking losers. Let's address something else, the damaged fucking cards. It's not just when you send fucking shit in that shit gets damaged. I got fucking like 2 things in my inventory now with like 20 or 30 cards that I bought from somebody else that are now fucking quote damaged. And I either have to resubmit them with a something or donate them or throw them away or send them back to myself. If you're selling low-end fucking cards, what do you give a fuck about a nick on a fucking corner on a 15 fucking cent card? Even if it's 40 of them. Sold $85,000 cards. You think I give a fuck about a few that have nicks on them? Of course, a couple are going to have nicks on them. 85,000 cards. Now, if you're selling more expensive cards and they're messing up your shit, sure. But I don't use the site that way. My last submission to them was over 3 years ago. I don't touch fucking cards. At all. So perhaps there's an issue here, but it's not just when you submit. It feels like to me they're going back through the entire inventory and finding shit with nicks. Because I'm getting shit that's saying it's damaged, and I bought that card from somebody else years ago in some cases. So it's not just stuff that's getting listed currently, and that seemed to be a gripe. Sure, they're probably taking a look at it. Sure, they could probably handle the cards better. Sure, they probably have some $15 an hour people that are touching the cards and maybe could be trained better. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would totally agree with that. But I don't see it being a huge deal for anybody playing in that low end game. And if you were doing that fucking 25-cent shit, what are you really sending in? What are you really complaining about? Are you trying to sell 5 cards or are you trying to sell 500,000 cards? What are you really trying to do? If you're trying to sell 500,000 cards, don't fucking worry if 40 of them get nicked. Really? Just keep it moving, keep fucking selling. The 20% cash out fee, again, is something that comes up over and over and over. And maybe I'm just numb to this because I see the fees that StubHub and Ticketmaster take, and I would pay those cats more. I actually get a discount from StubHub if you're a huge volume seller. They start giving you discounts, and you start actually ticking off percentages, which just increases your margin if you're a huge seller. So I'd love it if Check Out My Cards instituted something like that, either a volume on total sales or volume cards sold. He'd have to tighten up his site a little bit and not have people with like multiple accounts, but certainly it's possible. And I'd love to see that. That's, again, something that StubHub does. eBay does it. I think you have to meet certain customer service level. That's why eBay fucking sucks. I mean, you got to do that with tickets, but you're selling so many tickets that you're not going to run into too many customer service issues unless you're just plain stupid. So, again, the 20% cash out, that could be avoided as well. I know that you can get blowout before they got hacked. I was doing that myself. I probably ran through about $3,000 earlier this year. I haven't really bought any cards on Check Out My Cards this year. I've just been selling. I got $1,000 in there. You complaining sellers, I'll hit me up. sportscardshow@gmail.com. Sportscard News on Twitter. Sell me your port for 95% off SRP since you're so pissed that you're going to have to fucking pay a nickel more. I'll fucking buy it. Just send it to me. Sight unseen. I'll pay 95% off SRP. Straight cash right now. So let me know. Hit me up because, that nickel might make or break you. 20% cash out. Again, a couple ways you can get around with that. It looks like you can shave off a percentage or two if you want to go through blowout. I probably blew through about $2,000, $3,000 just from checking my cards on there this year, getting gift certificates. Another way is just end up with cards. I got a bunch of cards that eventually I'm going to send to myself. Probably when I build up a huge stack of them, it'll make sense then. But I got a Joe Panic 2016's Top Stadium Club autograph. I got a Michael Olowokandi Ultimate Collection to 50 that my brother conned $3 out of me for. I got a Tim Lincecum Tier 1 jersey. It's kind of cool. I got a Panini Flawless Inscriptions Rick Fox BGS 9 autograph. 5 of 10. That's cool. That's coming home with me. I got 2 Barry Bonds mid-2000 jersey cards, which are worth a little bit. Hard to find. I'm going to take those. I got a 2012 Gypsy Queen Brandon Belt of the Giants on-card autograph. I got a 2013 Gypsy Queen Matt Cain on-card autograph. I got a Magic Johnson 41 of 50 on-card autograph. That is freaking sweet. I don't know who this is, but I love the PSA DNA stuff. Tom Glass, PSA DNA certified autograph from Historic Autograph Cut. We'll do that. Oh, I got a Jerry Glanville JSA certified autograph. Gonna take that. And a couple other little things sitting in the account too. So you can just buy some car. I've actually been looking for some stuff, some nicer stuff. Now that he's actually giving people a discount to submit some nicer stuff, hopefully some stuff comes on there because I've been looking for some like Michael Jordan autographs, like something really nice. I mean, because I often, have about $1,000 sitting in there. I think Jordan autographs might be even a little more than that nowadays, but I'd love to be able to just drop maybe on a nice card or two, especially something graded. So I love this discount that he's giving for graded. I think it helps me a little bit. I think it helps you cash out a little bit if he's giving people a discount to send in some graded cards. Matter of fact, I got 40 myself that I picked up at the TriStar San Francisco show for like dirt cheap. So this actually helps me out as well. I'm going to get a 40% discount sending them in. Thank goodness I didn't send them in. It's going to be cheaper for me when I do that. So And I think it could help you cash out if better cards come on the side. If more expensive cards come on the side, if better graded cards come on the side, it's going to be easier to cash out. I'm able to buy that Jordan autograph or that something that I really want, Lakers piece and stuff. I've been looking at all kinds of different stuff, basketball rookies. I'd love a Devin Booker, something nice, Devin Booker, all kinds of stuff. I could think of 100 things that I would love to buy and ship to myself right now. And anything Lakers, San Francisco Giants, Joe Montana, Michael Olowokandi, Tiger Woods. I mean, just sign me up. I'll take it, ship it my way. So I got $1,000 to either blow on some cards that I'm going to flip or blow on some cards that I'm going to ship to myself someday, and just it'll sit in my cabinet. And when people come over, I always show them all the good stuff. They're like, "Oh, this is crazy." So that I use those cards to just kind of show people and be like, it kind of trips them out to see what cards have become. National Sports Collectors Convention kicks off, I think, in about exactly 4 weeks. And this is my 6th year in a row going. Be the 3rd time it's been in the location in Chicago that I've been to. So pretty familiar with the surroundings and the goings on there. Why do I go every year? A couple different reasons. One, probably most importantly, it's really, I think when I really think about it, I've done a lot of traveling over the last couple of years. To me, my 3 trips that I have to do every year: Vegas Summer League, when the Lakers have a top pick, and this year we got Lonzo Ball, so that shit's going to be wet as fuck in Vegas in about a week. Wet as fuck. That's a must-see. The National for me is a must-go. And the Arizona Fall League must go. And obviously anytime Pearl Jam's on tour, that's a straight, you can just stack off the tour dates right there. So Pearl Jam doesn't tour every year. So in terms of annual things, Vegas Summer League right now for me, especially since the Lakers are getting top picks, National Sports Collectors Convention, and Arizona Fall League. It's also a great tax write-off. I'm not going to lie. It makes for a great write-off. Go there, act like I'm covering the event, spend $2,000-$3,000 on accommodations and Ubers and flights and going to Vegas to before and after and fucking around, going to a Cubs game or something. You can't write off really anything you buy. I can't buy a Mickey Mantle and write that off, but all the other shit, fucking glorious tax write-off that I would gladly take year after year as long as nothing comes up and I'm able to go. Another reason is it's kind of the end of the year for me, in some sense, because I get going with football, preseason football, and regular season football kicks off right after the National. I've also tied in 2 Pearl Jam trips. Saw Pearl Jam at Wrigley a few years ago, and then the Chicago National was like started a few days later. And last year, saw Pearl Jam at Fenway the Sunday. Actually, the National was still going on, but Sunday's actually not a great day to go. But flew up to Boston from Atlantic City and saw them play at Fenway. So always able to tie in a couple other trips. Actually, sometime along the way. This time it looks like I'm pairing it up with Vegas. I'll be out there. Show doesn't start till Monday, but I'm going to touch boots on the ground, I believe, on Monday. And Tuesday they kind of open like the Group Breaker Pavilion like almost all day. Or maybe it's actually a little closer to the evening that they open it up. And you can actually get in there and talk to some people and stuff. I just like being there a little early, get the feel for things, see if I can talk to a couple people. If I have any ambition, I'll talk to some people and just to get the lay of the land, get a feel for things early. And like I said, it's a great tax write-off. It's something I always enjoy going to. So why not get there 2 days early before it starts to just soak it in, go to Morton Steakhouse, go to Gibson Steakhouse, maybe grab some pizza. Boy, I better get like 3 workouts in. If I'm trying to stay slim and trim and eat filet mignon and eat deep dish pizza or whatever every day. They have a little outlet mall out there in Rosemont that if you're staying out in Rosemont, but I'm also going to try to get into the city a couple different times, go to a Cubs game. There's a couple different card shops down that I've been to actually before, and just kind of check out some of the sights and sounds of Chicago. The Chicago show for me, like I said, it'll be the third year I'll be going to Chicago. It's a little tighter, a little smaller. And I mean, it's hard to say the national small, but compared to like something like Cleveland, a little tighter. They have everybody packed in there a little tighter, and a little more of a show-off show, a little more of a vintage kind of show-off kind of thing. Like, oh, here's my Ty Cobb, redback, fucking whatever, worth fucking 40,000 or whatever kind of thing. More than that. I mean, that's kind of the last 2 years is what I really remember. The first, it might take you a while before you see a dime box, but you're gonna see fucking plenty of Jackie Robinsons and Mickey Mantles and T206 and cards you never even recognized before and stuff that's worth thousands of dollars. So to me, that's what Chicago, the last few years in Chicago, reminds me of more the high-end dealer, the guy who's serious about it. There's some guys that they only do the Chicago show, and they don't go to Atlantic City. They don't go to Cleveland. I mean, I think next year it's in Cleveland. I mean, I can't say that I'm really looking forward to that, but definitely go back. It's certainly worth it if you've never been. It's it's just a massive, massive card show. You can definitely do the one day in, but I would spend several hours. Don't think you're going to be able to breeze through there in an hour or two. For me, I end up having long conversations with people, and every year they kind of add up more and more. That, I see somebody, oh, that's an hour conversation. Oh, that's a half-hour conversation. That's a half-hour conversation. So for me, I try to manage those. And in between, will do videos. Maybe some of you guys have seen them on YouTube. Some of them have become quite popular over the years. And, just walking through the show, showing stuff, and just showing different dealers. And every year I try to do fewer of them, but do longer ones. Do like a 30-minute walkthrough and just walk through. 30-minute walkthrough, that's going to get us mostly through Chicago. So I'll definitely 150% be doing those again this year. Last year in Atlantic City, it was funny. I had several people actually come up to me after I was doing the videos, and that they had seen them on YouTube. So that's always a little gratifying. One way to get in my good graces to come up and just be like, oh, I've seen your video. Oh, dude, you're tight, whatever. It's usually actually younger kids, actually. So I'm actually conscious of that. I'm going to clean up all the language. And some of the YouTube videos are always going to be a little more PG rated, because I have had a couple youngsters come up to me, say they watch them. So we're going to keep the national videos PG rated, but what won't be PG rated is any podcast that I do from there, either solo or with my brother. We always throwing stuff, the F-bombs around. I remember last year, I think it was the day after the national, or right when I came back, we broke the story that Mike Smith had, gotten high on meth and, gotten a gun and committed to, threatened to kill 3 people. Mike Smith is the CEO of CardboardConnection.com. So you never know what can happen there. Broke the story that Upper Deck was in on the NBA bid. We talked to Check On My Cards. I'd have to go back and listen. I don't remember what we talked about, but always talk to Tim from Check On My Cards for over an hour or two, and get the lay of the land. I'll bust his balls about the 5-cent increase in fees, tongue in cheek, but just to see about his site, see about the progress as far as, I think he could do a way better job, like getting these, being able to sort stuff. Let me be able to search graded cards. If you're going to give me a discount to send them in, let me be able to sort and search those easier, find stuff easier. I think there's so many cards on there that sometimes it's harder to nail down stuff, and get to what you're looking for, get to a particular set. I think it's pretty easy to get a list of a player, because you can just click on one of his items, click on his name, and boom, you can sort it every which way to Sunday. But what about particular sets? What about graded cards? I just want to sort the cheapest graded cards on the site. Like, let me just see everything. Jersey cards, autographs. This was something that he talked about, and maybe something he's a little behind on, or something he's kind of working on. And maybe when he debuts the new fees, he's actually going to debut some other stuff, and that this was kind of a first in a rollout of announcements. I don't know for a fact. I'm just kind of speculating, but I have a long time to talk to him about his site, about trading, Potentially. It's something I always kind of nag him about that I'd love to see. I think he should charge for it, and because I could see how he wouldn't want to open it up for free, but I think it's something he should charge for. And now here's the thing: I could stick a microphone in front of Tim's face. I could stick a microphone in front of Brian Gray's face. I could stick a microphone in front of the Group Breakers I Talk face. I could stick a microphone in front of all his face. We all kind of change when there's a microphone in front of you. I think. If a news camera came up and started filming you on the street, it's hard to act natural. It's hard to feel comfortable. It's hard to answer honestly. But when you're just kind of having a free-flowing conversation with somebody, you're able to get, I think, a lot more information. And it becomes a lot more useful than just that stock, here's Brian Gray's interview, here's Tim Getch's interview, here's Tracy Hackler on fucking, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a real fuck, at the end of the day? And when they're doing that kind of on-camera, on-mic stuff, they do have to present themselves in a certain way. Whereas when you get them off mic, you get a lot more information. Now, I always, at least, especially with Tim, I can specifically say that with Tim, as I'm talking to him, I'll ask him, can I mention that on the podcast? Can I say that? Can I tweet that? And sometimes it'll be no, sometimes it'll be, well, you can kind of say, and that's fine. But if I was interviewing him and I asked him a question that he didn't want to answer, he would just dodge it or say he couldn't answer it, didn't want to answer it, or whatever. Start talking about, LeVar Ball or something. But if we're just having a free-flowing conversation, he can be like, well, you can't say this, and that's great with me. Just give me as much information as I can. Tell me about trading. Tell me about the sorting. Tell me about how flipping's going. Tell me what his outlook for the site 2-3 years out. The partnership with eBay, Amazon. Is anything else on the horizon? Is Amazon ever going to cut them a check and just buy the whole thing? I mean, I don't have any inside information. It's weird. They share kind of spaces up there in Washington up north. If I woke up one day, and trust me, Amazon just shits the money that they could check on my cards for his company. And they threw him $20 million for it. I don't know what it's worth. Could be worth more than that. Don't be shocked if one day you wake up and something crazy like that happens. So those are, we'll be able to talk to Tim. We'll be able to talk to different group breakers. We'll get to talk to some surprise people. We'll get the whole lay of the land from people from Tops, people from Upper Deck. Tops will probably do their little meet and greet thing. We'll record that. You're going to want to follow me on Twitter if you're interested in the National. Okay? Last year I got some complaints that I was like too soft. And I was in a real good mood last year. I was literally flying to go see Pearl Jam at Fenway fucking Park the Sunday after the National got ended. You literally couldn't have, nothing could have knocked me off the literal high that I was on last year. So, I got some comments that I was a little soft last year. I think I made up for it when I blew up Mike Smith. I think it was the day after the National. So I was just kind of saving up. This year, hopefully I can come in a little more salty mood because everybody's all kind of real positive at the National. Everything's good. Everything's, from the companies, the messaging, the postings on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, all the social, it's all positive. Everything's all loving each other and and I don't like that so much. I think there's enough room in this hobby for spicing it up a little bit. So that's certainly my intention. Hopefully, last year I was just in too good a mood. This year, without that Pearl Jam kind of trip kind of backing it up, we could be in a little salty mood, and and the thing with Chicago too is it's a little tighter show. I've been there so many times. It's a little bit of a show off museum kind of, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. But after you kind of see that shit for a day or two, you're done with that and you're ready to fucking spice up your life a little bit. And I'll have been there since Monday, and the show doesn't actually officially quote unquote start till Wednesday evening. So I'm going to try to get saucy and fucking wet and throw out some fucking fire hot tweets. I'm sure the thing that'll fucking bubble me over is the fact that the other day I almost halfway died running 5 miles in the 90-degree heat here in California. But I'll walk one fucking block in Chicago. It'll be 89 degrees, but the humidity will be 8,645 fucking percent. And I'll fucking sweat off all 20 pounds that I'm trying to fucking lose in one block. So maybe that's fucking something to look forward to. If I haven't lost my 20 pounds, I can just walk outside in the fucking humidity and boom, it'll be gone instantly. Next thing, we'll briefly fucking, this is another fucking thing. You fucking losers. Losers. Operative fucking word today. Some group breaker, I don't fucking, it's 12:24 at night. I don't have fucking time to look this up. Apologize. Group breaker opened a case of 2017 Topps Museum, which just came out. And I don't know how many, there might be 12 boxes a case, might be 50, I don't know how many. He hit fucking 11, I think, 1-of-1 laundry tags. And these are like case hits. He hit fucking like 11 in one shot. Also, I think he hit like a Judge autograph and something else kind of nice. I mean, it was a fucking case of a lifetime. And it was a group break, so, you know, people had bought in. And he, you know, obviously he fucking, like anybody would, started crowing about this on Twitter or social media or wherever. And there are literally, I'm going to let this fucking sink in. There are literally dumb motherfuckers that expected this motherfucker to feel bad or want to fucking send these cards into Topps or contact fucking Topps. Are you fucking kidding me? All I've been hearing for fucking years is how there are nothing in these fucking boxes. They're over fucking priced. It's not like the old fucking days. And this motherfucker pulls 11 fucking 1-of-1s in a fucking case, and fucking people are fucking complaining? Are you fucking serious? We're gonna fucking complain when there's no hits, and then we're gonna fucking complain when it's a jackpot? Really? Fucking really? Last point I want, really? It's just fucking blows my fucking mind. Fucking pansy fucking losers some of you guys are. He should keep every fucking one of those cards. Not fucking feel bad about it. I mean, he should send them out to the customers. But if it was his own fucking personal case, wave my fucking dick over those fucking cards. Last point I want to make about this. It's just astonishing. Just some of the blowback this poor guy received. Not everyone got a fucking card who bought into the break. So you actually, he had good luck because he had a case. But the people in the break, you actually had to get good luck to get one of the 11 laundry tag hits and the Judge cards. Maybe a Yankees guy was one of the laundry tag hits. So it could have only been like 9 or 10 people who cashed in on this 30-team break. Now, whether or not these cards were supposed to be in another product, that's for fucking Topps to figure out and answer to. And it's actually a possibility that they weren't, that they just had extra cards and they decided to load up a fucking case. I'm all for that. Load up fucking cases with 11 laundry tags. Some of you fucking crack addicts out there, they could fucking make 2,000 cases and 1999 of them are duds and one of them are good, and you fucking idiots would still fucking buy it. Let's fucking be real. God damn, son, I'm telling you. You guys are fucking losers. Next topic. Blowout cards. It used to be blowoutcards.com/forum to get to their forum. Well, they changed it. It's now like blowoutcardsforum.com. They moved their forum to a different server altogether, separate from their e-commerce website. I wonder why they had to do that. Even though one of their fucking idiot moderators was like, oh, this had nothing to do with the fucking hack. I'm 100% sure, but I really don't know. That was like his direct quote. No, this 100% doesn't have anything to do with the hack, but oh, I really don't know. That's what he said. What a fucking moron that guy is. Of course, vBulletin got fucking hacked and they got into the regular website because it's on the same server, same file structure. Real easy to kind of fucking slither in there and get to those credit card database through a vulnerability in a forum. Same thing happened to Sports Card Radio. Sports Card Radio, we had the long time ago. This was like many, many years ago. Main site was set up on Joomla. Forum was set up on, I have no fucking clue what it was set up on actually. Something else. That got hacked and that got into our main website. And we actually did the same thing Blowout did. Sports Card Radio Forum or something.com. Separate server, separate domain, separate site. Get the fuck away. Basically, get the fuck away from my main site that's making all the money and go somewhere else so that I don't fucking have to deal with this shit. This hacking shit. So the fucking moderator over there on Blowout who said this had nothing to do with the fucking hack, I mean, you're a fucking ass clown. This had everything to do with the hack. Of course it did. Next thing I want to talk about, if you're not using Facebook groups, wow, you should be. And if you have a business, I really couldn't get anybody to like my Beanie Babies page. I mean, I got tons of traffic to this Beanie Babies website I have that has like 100 posts, max. It gets a ton of traffic because the posts are really good and really tangible and usable and the information's current. But I could only get to like 600-700 likes on this stupid fucking page. You know? People would kind of like me, send me a message, ask me how much their fucking Princess Bear was worth, and then I think unlike me a lot of times. But I was like, and I kept getting comment after comment on this website. This website has like fucking like 10,000 fucking comments. And that becomes, actually, you kind of have to manage your fucking comments, which is kind of weird. You know, I don't have that many posts, but I'm managing all these comments. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'm seeing all this shit about Facebook groups. I'm going to fucking start one. And that shit is blown up. In like 3 weeks, I got like 1,100 fucking people added. And I fucking control the group. I control who gets fucking approved. I can delete and remove anybody I fucking want. I'm the admin. Nobody else. I can control the fucking messaging. And I'm adding about like 30, 40, fucking 50 people a day. Now, granted, it's all coming through my website. I have a fucking super popular website that I can drive people to this. But I've seen several sports card groups that are 10, 20,000 in size. They're like a scammer group that's like 5 or 10,000 people. A lot of group breaks right now are going down on these Facebook groups. Guys that don't even have fucking websites. Guys don't even really have a presence. But they're involved in this group. And people are seeing these posts much more than they're seeing posts that you post on your Facebook quote page. Facebook wants you to pay. If you post something on your page, you're going to have to pay to get people to see it. Whereas if you're in a group, you don't have to pay shit. Everybody in that group's going to see it if they fucking come to it. And if it's a good group, large group, active group, really grow your business. May not be applicable to sport. Some of these sports card groups, they get large because everybody is kind of a moderate and they all kind of invite each other. And so, you know, it's easy to get to that size and scope. A little harder if you have a website and you just trying to start a group. And it may be harder to build that, you know, in size and scope. Not if it's fucking about Beanie Babies. I'm going to blow this fucking shit up. And it should be fun. And for a couple years, I thought about doing Beanie Baby authentication. There's a couple people that do it. They don't do it. Their websites are fucking look like they were set up when Beanie Babies were invented. And I think it's something I could do. I think it's something I can fucking charge $15 or $20 and look at a Beanie Baby for fucking 2 minutes. Slapping a box, giving them his fucking certificate. I mean, what do you fucking think these card graders do? What do you think you fucking coin graders do? They look at this shit for like 2 minutes. Slap something on it. Here, it's authentic. Couple different service levels. It's one of the questions I get asked several times a day. Where and how do I authenticate my Beanie Babies? Well, guess what? They're going to fucking get an address from me. And a fucking bill from me. So that's exciting. We're not going to do that until after football. I've actually got to kind of play that out. Actually, one of the great things they can go to the national, I can network with some people who do grading, either Beckett or PSA, maybe even, one of the smaller outfits. What do I got to look out for? What type of paperwork do I got to do? I'm not stepping in their space. They're going to gladly give that information up. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to authenticate Beanie Babies. What should I do? That's not something you can just hire somebody and do. That's why I would freely talk about it. That's why I'm freely talking about it on this podcast. It's not something you're going to be able to do. I have one of the most popular fucking sites on the internet. By the time I get this kicked off, my Facebook group will have 10 or 20,000 fucking members. My website traffic is tripled. What I've made on that website is tripled since I hired the person that's working for me. She's putting together some lists and doing some things for me. Traffic has tripled, and what I'm making on it has actually more than tripled. On some days, on big days, weekends. Added another advertising network so I can run more ads. I can run Google ads. I can run media.net ads. And I think I want to start dipping into charging these fucking idiots money. Because as much as some of you sports card people are idiots, you guys are fucking Albert Einstein compared to these fucking people who think their Beanie Babies are worth $30,000. But that's it. Listen to the Mojo Break podcast, live show. It's actually on YouTube. You can actually see them. They do little clips, all kinds of good stuff. Good guys. I remember. I think it was just a few months ago. I thought that's right. It was at that Tops party. It was at a Tops party. Dan from Mojo Break. We played at the Bellagio straight craps. I think we both came up. That was a good night. I think we were up till about 4 or 5 playing craps at the Bellagio. And I think we came up playing craps. Hoping I'm not blowing these guys' covers, but I think Doug came up playing slots too. So that was a straight come up day. The Tops party and the craps dice rolling at night. I've actually gotten better at craps since then. I actually have gotten better strategy wise. So looking forward to going out and playing a couple weeks. But check out these guys' live show. It's going to be every week. MojoBreak.com. Check it out on YouTube. Fun stuff, good stuff there from them. They're always known to keep it real and talk about some of the pertinent business things in the hobby. Certainly one of the reasons why I listen. And you should too. So see you later. If I don't see you, you will hear from me loud and clear from the National. Don't worry. If there is a 4-week break, I'm sure you will be hearing from my brother and I loud and clear in about 4 weeks. So stay tuned for that.